Hey, I'm Carl Hood with Analog Way, and welcome to my office hours. So the Aquilon will not download or install new firmware for you, even if you put it online. So it is up to you to go download new firmware updates and then install them on your Aquilon as well. Let's take a look at how to do that here on this screen capture. So on the Analog Way website, go over to the Products tab, click on that tab, hover over Live Premiere, hover over any Aquilon, it really doesn't matter, and then go click on Downloads behind any of these Aquilon models. This will bring you to this page here on the product page, and you'll notice there's a firmware tab. Open that up and you'll find the current firmware, which at the time of recording this is 5.0.130. You'll find the release notes that correspond to that current firmware. And if you scroll a little bit more, you'll also find some archived firmware that go back to, gosh, in this case, all the way down to version 3.196, which is pretty far back. That's probably about a couple of years as of this recording. So when you click on one of these, it'll go ahead and download the zip file for that firmware version to wherever your browser's download location is. And once you have that and you've extracted it from the zip file, you can go back into WebRCS. Now, in WebRCS, to go find the firmware page, we're going to go up top to the top left, click on this little icon, and then you'll notice in this pop-up there's a firmware section. Click on that firmware section and you'll be brought to the part of WebRCS where you can update the firmware. Now, all you have to do really is click in this little section here and then go find the firmware file that you basically want to update to and then hit open. What it's going to do is it's going to basically load that into the Aquilon, and then all you have to do at that point is hit install. The Aquilon will run the firmware updater, it will then reboot, and honestly, after about a couple minutes, typically, you'll be back up and running. The firmware update will not change the Aquilon's configuration at all, so you can do this either before setting up a show, after setting up a show, it really doesn't matter. And then finally, these firmware files, they're all additive, so you can jump firmware files if you need to. If you make really big jumps, that firmware update might take a little longer than a couple minutes, but typically it is entirely up to you, and you can also jump back if you ever need to backdate to a previous firmware. So that's how to update the firmware in the Aquilon. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out my other office hour videos for more Aquilon tips and tricks. See you in the next one.